You know, how would you assess the squad that you've selected?
I've been pretty loyal to the group that I've been together for quite a while now. Obviously, we've got one new addition in Ben Cockayne, who's been very good. But numerous other players in the Super League competition who are playing very well right now. And I think they probably need to sustain that form over a period of time. And if they do that, then they'll certainly come into the reckoning. But we've announced 30 players. We have got an opportunity to expand that. Maybe in the next camp if we need to by a couple of players. But very happy with what our players have produced. Over the last couple of years at international level. That's both on the field but off the field, and now they're coming together as a group.
So why Ben Cockayne?
Well, as I said, over a sustained period of time, his form has been outstanding. He certainly caught my eye last season. We spoke as a group of staff about him and was monitoring him and looking at him, and his form has just continued. It's even better at the start of the season. Again, he's producing some fantastic numbers. He's causing a lot of trouble for the opposition players, and I just think that he's, like I said, he's in a good vein of form, but it's not just over 3 or 4 weeks. This has been over a long period of time, and very infectious character, and I'm sure he'll be a good addition.
What do you think he'll bring to the squad?
Well, energy, enthusiasm. He's a very smart rugby league player. You watch some of the things that he does, and how he runs out with dummy half. He can find a pass, he can find a kick, he breaks tackles, he gets quick play of the balls, and he's an handful. I think if you speak to any team in the competition, any players who play against Ben, understand the strengths that he brings.
It's going to be quite a challenge for him because he's the only new inclusion in that squad. So out of the 29 out of the 30 are established. Is that going to be difficult for him?
I don't think so. I think he's a good character anyway. I don't think he'll be shy coming forward. But the rest of the group will make sure that he's fine as well. That's what we've got at this moment in time. But by the time we come back together, they'll have been beating each other up for 7 weeks anyway. It won't be just Ben. There'll be, although this group's been together, there's been some pretty fierce games, and none more than the Friday night. The Friday night Wigan play Leeds, and then on the Saturday those players are coming together. So there's always a little bits and pieces what we have to deal with. But no, this group will be fine. Ben will settle in very well, and I'm sure the group will accept him very well as well.
What was you thinking on rewarding loyalty? Were other players in your mind ahead of this selection?
Yeah, quite a few players. Like I said, the start of the Super League's been interesting. Some players outside the group who would like to think they've got an opportunity to get in the group, and I think so as well. It is early in the season, but we do need to get a group together. We need to get that continuity going from last season, and we need to start getting together as a group, and we do that in March and we do that in May, and then obviously we've got the exiles in June, so there's times for things to change in between that. But no, the group that I've got, I've got a whole amount of trust and faith in this group, and it'll take something pretty special for people to break into it.
First camp will be at Cranwell in 2 weeks. What do you want to achieve at the camp?
Well, it's a non-rugby specific camp. They get enough of that with their clubs at this moment in time. So again, it's just building on some of the things that we've been doing for the last couple of years. And RF Cranwell was a real starting point for us. Our ETS programme started there. We've got some things out on the table there, what was affecting our performance as an England group. And we need to go back and revisit where we were at that point, where we are now, what we need to get to the next stage. And there's various team building activities built alongside that as well, but just spending some time with each other. When, like I said earlier, they've just beat each other up for 7 weeks is probably the most important part of the trip.
You've invited 3 younger members of the England Knights and the England Academy squad: Stevie Ward, John Bateman and Ben Curry. What's your thinking behind that?
Well, we will have England Knights games this year, but we haven't got England Knights camps as we've had over the last couple of years. We're narrowing our focus down in World Cup year. Stevie Ward, John Bateman and Ben Curry have all been involved in our under-18s programme and would have missed that next step, that next opportunity that the previous Knights players have got. And I just think that they've got outstanding qualities. They're going to be very good players for their clubs and hopefully for the country moving forward. And I need them, or we need them, should I say, to get a taste of what it's like to be with the senior England group. And with the absence of the Knights camps this year, this is the perfect opportunity. And who knows, they get a sniff, they get a taste, and I'm looking for them for the future, but quite possibly they could be the now as well.
Because you've got a bit of responsibility there, haven't you? You've got like one eye, I suppose, on the long-term future of England Rugby League. You've got the World Cup 2017, international tournaments that'll be coming up after this World Cup. Is that what it's about, so they get used to training and playing with the elite? Yeah,
they'll be senior players come the next World Cup. They're all 19 years of age now. Another 4 years, they're going to be 23 years of age. They're going to be coming into their prime. You know, you look at our squad as a whole, and a lot of our young outside backs, they're going to be around for the next World Cup, and a fair few of our front rowers are going to be. But you look at the back row, no disrespect to our back row, but there's quite a few ageing players who definitely won't be there in 4 years' time, and it's looking at that next group of players who will probably take that mantle. These three players are going to be strong candidates for those positions, along with numerous other players who are still playing in the competition. But it certainly is on making sure that our success in this World Cup can be matched and can be bettered and continued, and that's just not, we obviously all want to go and win the World Cup this year, and that's our aim, but we want long-term sustained success, and if we can achieve that, our game will flourish.
And just finally, we're about 6 weeks into Super League 2013. Have you noticed a difference this year in terms of the intensity and the quality of the competition compared to, let's say, last year?
Well, I think this weekend's results just gone. I think there was quite a few unexpected results in that, and it is a little bit unpredictable. It is still very early. I think teams are still settling down. There's some teams have settled down obviously quicker than others, but I think that the competition in World Cup year will give us some intense games, and I think those games are only going to get stronger and stronger as the weather starts to improve and get better. But yeah, at the start of the year so far, we're reasonably happy, and again, it's at the end of the year for myself in particular where these players need to be in the prime.
I've just got to quickly ask you about the Australian-based players. Obviously, it can be quite easy to isolate those guys 12,000 miles away, but have you been speaking to those players?
Yeah, we always speak to the players, phone calls, texts, we stay in constant contact, keep them updated on the programme, things that we're doing. Hopefully at some stage throughout the year, probably get a visit out to Australia to sit down with them individually, collectively. They're very, very passionate about playing for their country and understand how important it is for everybody back in England that we do well in this World Cup, and they're hoping, as are all of our players across here, to be selected come that final squad.